welcome back to another tutorial with Manis by Megan. In today's video, I'm actually going to be trying out the new liquids from VIVIDip nails. They're brand new. She just launched them. So I'm actually really excited to try them, and the first time I'm trying them is on camera. So we're gonna go ahead and open them up. I did get the peel base and I got the full dip set. So let's just see how these look. Do a very good job of cutting that one. So here is the peel base. It's really cute packaging. It's got some leopard print on it. I love leopard print. Let's go ahead and open that up. I do like that it's a nice thin consistency. I'm actually really excited to try this for the first time. So I actually had what seemed like a reaction to some acetone. I was getting some rashes around a couple of my fingers. So what I've been doing is I've been using peel base over clear, which I'm not extremely good at filling yet, but we'll get there. So it's something new to me. The nails are kind of, you know, they don't look as great as if they were bare, but when there's dip over top of them, it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go ahead and open these liquids and see how they look. So these bottles are really cute too. They're full leopard print all the way around. So we have activator, we have the top coat here, and base. Okay, cool. So let's check out the consistency of these really quick. Oh, they look really nice and thin, so perfect. Let's check out the top coat. Really like the feel of these bottles too. The top is really nice. Okay, these are nice and thin too. Let's check out the smell. Honestly, not very strong at all, which is really good because some liquids will make your eyes water. Yeah, these aren't very strong at all. You can barely even smell them. Let's check out the activator next. Kind of curious as to how this smells because sometimes activator really gets me. Just smells like activator. So anyway, I kind of have a full VIVIDip mani planned, so this will definitely be a little bit longer than my normal videos. I'm going to use Daydream and Pinkerbell, and I think I'm going to do a little vertical ombre to show you guys. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply this peel base. I'm actually going to apply it to my full nail. And I, with other peel bases, I normally just use one full layer. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then in a few days, I will film another video of me popping these off and see how the peel base really works. So go ahead and apply a thin layer of this peel base to my full nail. So far, it looks really good. It applies nice and even, and it's pretty thin. So go ahead and apply that to all my nails, and then I'll let that dry. And then we'll get started on the full mani. I hope you guys stay with me for the whole thing so you can see what it looks like in the end. I'm actually pretty excited. I hope this turns out the way that I plan. So my plan is to do a vertical ombre on these two fingers and then a full glitter nail in the middle and then solid on the thumb and pinky. I think it'll look pretty cute. Okay, so let's let that dry and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm back and that took about 2 minutes to dry. And it actually dried kind of shiny. So a little bit dull, but mostly shiny. Some of the other ones will dry very matte. So this one you kind of have to touch it a few times just to make sure it's dry. But it was pretty quick. So I'm ready to get started dipping. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually start on the vertical ombre because you guys might actually want to see that first before you dip out of the video because I know some people won't stay for the whole thing. So I have these handy little blue towels because during the coronavirus, we weren't able to find the white paper towel, so my husband went to Home Depot and bought these shop towels. So I'm just gonna use this to kind of catch a little bit of the glitter when I'm doing this vertical ombre. So let's go ahead and start with this base coat here from VIVIDip. I'm gonna go ahead and open up Daydream and Tinkerbell. And check this out, y'all. Look at that, isn't that so pretty? Everything from VIVIDip is so amazing. I pretty much have purchased every color. So I'm going to also be using my favorite ombre brushes from Revel. Love these. Okay, so first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply a full dip of Daydream. This is pretty thin, so I'm gonna actually wipe off my brush pretty well before applying the liquid. I'm gonna apply it mostly to the cuticle because that's gonna be my first dip, and it's actually gonna be a full dip just because of the way I'm going to apply this vertical ombre. We'll do that. And this is the first time I've used these liquids, so I'm not sure of the drying time or anything, so you guys are gonna see it for the first time with me. I always like to lay my nail in the powder, and then we'll do a little tap, tap, tap. Actually applied nice and even, so that's good. Very, very good. I'll grab my toothpick just in case I need it. Okay, good to go. And what I'm doing in ombre, I actually, I try to avoid using my toothbrushes like you've seen in the other videos because I don't want to spread out the glitter. So for this first layer, I will go ahead and brush off the excess, but for the next 2 layers, I will not do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and brush off the excess here. And it looks really good. So the one good thing to note is that the base coat really did adhere well to the peel base. I have tried some in the past where it just didn't adhere very well. So that's a good thing. It adhered really well. And I'm hoping these pop off really nicely. That's my ultimate goal. Hopefully I put enough because normally 1 layer works for me. So my next step is I'm gonna do another full coat of base coat. And then we're gonna start sprinkling. So I'm hoping these don't dry too fast to where I can't apply my ombre. I'm gonna go ahead and dip here. And honestly, it's easier to just kind of have your nail over the jar. And what I do is I just kind of tap it to one side and kind of create that ombre look just from the side. Tap it more on one side and you kind of let a little bit of the glitter sprinkle over. Doesn't have to be completely perfect, but man, this Tinkerbell is like gorgeous. It applies really well. And then I'll go ahead and I'll sprinkle some of my solid powder over here just to kind of fill that in so it's nice and even. And I've done a vertical ombre tutorial in the past, but it was on a swatch stick, so this is kind of good for you guys to see it here on my actual nail. And you see I did get a little bit of glitter in there. I'll just scoop it out with my favorite little scooper. Put that to the side. Okay, so that is the first layer of my vertical ombre. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a fluffy brush and then just dust off the excess, just because I don't wanna brush it off with that toothbrush and ruin any of my work. Okay, so I'm actually, the next step, I'm just gonna apply 1 more layer of the glitter on the side here, and then I'll do a clear coat on the top. So I'll apply my base coat 1 more time. And I'm just gonna tap some more glitter on here. I haven't done a vertical ombre in a long time, so I'm kind of excited for this one. I really hope it turns out Okay, so that actually turned out perfectly. I have a few little glitters that kind of went over a little far, so I could just take my toothpick and just kind of push it back. Or you could just leave it, whatever you like. There's really no right or wrong way. And then the next thing I'm gonna do, VIVIDip does not have clear, so I'm gonna use my Revel nail Vivian. And that's what I use on all of my manis. And I feel like it's very, very clear. I never have a dog glitter mani, so I'll go ahead and just apply one more layer of this base coat. Now I'm gonna scoop. I like to scoop it over and just kind of sprinkle until it is completely covered. Your glitter is gonna look matte at first, and that's okay. So we'll give that just a second to dry, and then I'll go ahead and get started on the other one. And it's gonna be the opposite on this side. So go ahead and do a full dip. So far, I really like these liquids. They're so thin, like super duper thin. And I don't know if you're into that or not, but my nails are gonna be a little thicker just because I already have the 2 dips of clear on it prior. So, but I don't really mind that because I really like not having to soak off. So, I mean, I'll buff that down. It won't be as thick. So I'll show you at the end how it looks with the 2 layers. Now that I have applied the clear over this, I will go ahead and brush off the excess with the toothbrush. I just didn't want to do it before when the glitter was still kind of pliable. So, and actually I'm gonna go ahead and apply the activator to this one while I'm working on this one. So here's the activator. And just apply kind of a healthy, I always like to apply a lot just to make sure everything is nice and sealed. Tapping the edges and everything. And when you're using peel base, I know the point of it is to make it for easy removal. Some peel base, they will just pop right off. I mean, an hour after you've completed this mani that you spent all this time working on. And it's kind of frustrating. So one thing to be very aware of is to make sure that when you apply your top coat, cap all the way around the edges, and that will keep it on for the most part. You'll still probably have a little bit of lifting that you could fix if necessary, but for the most part, I've actually found it really works if you make sure to really cap off the edges. So let's go ahead and apply the vertical ombre on this nail. On full coat. And the brushes are nice too. They fan out pretty easy, so that's also a plus. So far I like them. Can't wait to see how the top coat looks. So we will go ahead and apply the glitter just to the one side of the nail here. Hope you guys can see it. I'm sorry, but I'm right-handed, so my hand will be in the way for this one a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little more of this solid color here. Okay, tap that off. Man, this is turning out really pretty so far. I really like it. Probably should have waited just a second because these glitters are, oh well, I will deal with that. Not a big deal. Doesn't look too bad. Yeah, these liquids dry pretty fast. So that's one thing to note. They do dry pretty fast. So when you're working with them, actually, I mean, you have plenty of time to do an ombre, but I kind of screwed up here. I think it'll look okay in the end though. We'll get it figured out. What I could do is go ahead and apply one more layer and do my sprinkles, and then I'll apply a little bit more of the pink over top to see if I can fix that. Okay, I think I'm satisfied. I think I like the way that looks. We'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and apply the clear coat over top. And then next are the easy ones. I'm just gonna do a couple of, I'm actually going to, where are those paper towels? It's not very aesthetically pleasing. Okay. And I am just gonna go ahead and do the middle finger in a full dip of clear, a full dip of glitter. So I like to go kind of 3/4 of the nail with the first dip, and for glitter I always do 2 dips, so I'm not gonna do 3. I do 2 glitter and then 1 clear. I really like this combo so far, it looks beautiful. So then for my solids I always do 3/4 of a dip and 2 full dips. And one funny thing, I've used Daydream, this pink, I've used it, this is my 3rd time I think. I really like it. It's one of those pinks that really catches my eye every time. I feel like it goes with a lot. And so far, I think the liquids are pretty good. I may have applied the glitter a little too thick on this now, but I can buff it out. I think it'll turn out pretty good in the end. I'm excited to see how it looks in the end. So, yeah, I think you guys might like these liquids, but we'll see. Topcoat is the winner. We'll see how shiny it is. And this Pinkerbell, I probably should have just done a full mani with it because it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. You always want to kind of pat down your glitters, because even with a finer glitter like this, sometimes they stick up. So you might just want to pat them down just for good measure. Do your dip in clear. Oh my god, so pretty. I don't think I've had one powder from VIVIDip that I didn't like. Every single one. And they're so unique. They're always different than anything you find anywhere else. Okay, that's it for the clear for me. Actually, one little spot right here. And thanks you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I normally don't do long videos like this, so I appreciate you watching. I got this new background. I think it the background I had before kind of had lines on it, and I just don't think when you're filming a video it's kind of hard because you don't realize until the end if it looks crooked, and I filmed a couple videos and they looked a little bit crooked and I was kind of frustrated, but I shared them anyway because, you know, no human is perfect. So what are you gonna do? Man, it's such a pretty pink, and it gets opaque with 2 dips. You really don't need 3. I'm gonna do 3 anyway just because for durability. Although I probably don't need to because I have the clear underneath, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So do 3 dips of the pink, and then we'll start buffing and filing and see how this thing turned out. Actually, I haven't activated these 2 yet. I may as well while I'm working on the others, that way they're ready to buff whenever I'm ready. And I think I can actually show you guys how I get this little small short ballerina shape. I don't know if it's ballerina shape. Somebody asked me how I achieve this short ballerina shape. I'm not really good at the shape names. It looks kind of square with a little bit of a taper to me, so. I'll show you. It's really easy. It's all about how you angle your file, and I honestly, I just shape my nails however I like them. So if I get to a shape that I'm like, oh yeah, that's cute, then I leave it. And this one actually, this shape has really stuck for me. I really enjoy it a lot. And I'm really kind of enjoying having the shorter nails, but my nails grow so fast that I sometimes don't even realize when they're getting longer. Until I watch my picture progression on my Instagram. You can kind of notice then. I just cut these short not too long ago. I did have one little area here where it kind of pushed up the liquid, but not a big deal. Nothing a little buffing can't fix. Okay, guys, I'd say that these applied really smooth. I'm very impressed. First impression is great. I love the mani so far. Can't wait to take a mani pic for you guys to see at the end. So now that I'm done with all of my things, I'm gonna move those to the side. The only thing we'll need here is our Topcoat activator and a file and a buffer. A couple of these little babies we'll need here soon. So let's file. So one really important thing is to make sure that I always file before I buff, and then I buff everything smooth on the edges and everything. So always go around the cuticle and make sure that's rounded. If you apply your liquids well enough, your cuticle will be pretty much rounded before you're done your mani, but you can always kind of shape it up a little bit right before you apply your top coat. So kind of stuck to my finger there a little bit. Just kind of watch the way I file. Right here, I'm actually just getting off a little extra piece that stuck to my skin, but you kind of want to file on an angle here, just like so. And then if the angle's too sharp, your nail is gonna look a lot more tapered up here. So you wanna make sure you just angle it a little bit at a time. And I've said this in previous videos, you can't add it back on, but you can take more off. So it's the measure twice, cut once rule. Just kind of take it a little bit at a time here. It doesn't matter if your shaping takes you a little longer if you achieve the shape that you want. What happens sometimes is I think people overfile and they're very unhappy with the shape they get because they just did it too fast. So just take your time. All of this is about taking your time always. This is supposed to be a fun hobby. So I think rushing through it, I mean, I understand sometimes you just have to get your nails done, but I think when you take care and show love, it really does show through in your manis. So I also do use my file to buff. I'll still buff with my little orange block, but I kind of like the way when I buff, it kind of gets the sides flattened. And so now that I have done that, I kind of want to show you guys, it's not too thick. It's pretty good actually, even with the 2 layers of clear. So pretty impressed. I do actually really want to try the top coat. So I'm gonna go ahead and buff this, and we're gonna try the top coat and just see how it is. So one thing, I did not read the instructions, which I know she has listed on her website and on her Facebook page, but I'm kind of a rebel. So we're just gonna go with what I typically do with liquids, and that is after I apply the activator, the second coat of activator, I will wait for it to dry for a moment. And I'll take a lint-free nail wipe. And some people will take a little dab of rubbing alcohol and wipe their nail with it. I don't do that. I just take the lint-free wipe and I wipe my nail dry. And then just kind of make sure you get off all that activator, the extra. And then you take your top coat. And we always do two or three quick strokes. And this is very thin, so we're just gonna kind of go 1, 2. 2 is good, 2. And I'm gonna wipe this brush because I've never used these liquids before, and I wipe all my liquids, but you just really don't know if they're gonna harden up. So if you can see here, the nail is starting to look a little crinkly. So now that it's starting to look like that, we'll go back in. And this time I'll take a little more on the brush. And then we're gonna go and put a more detailed coat here. And like I said, when you're using the peel base, make sure you really cap those edges so your nails don't lift. And wipe that brush before returning it to the bottle. And y'all, this is so shiny. I mean, look at that. Holy cow. Okay, so I don't know how long it takes for that to dry, but we'll give that a minute or two. I don't really want to touch it, just in case it's still wet. So I'll go ahead and just shape and file the rest of these. And one thing before you do your mani, if you shape them this way with a glass file, because they're so much better for your natural nail, shape your natural nail the same way before your mani. That way, most of the work is done for you. And you don't have a ton of filing to do at the end. Unless you make some mistakes, that'll pretty much be it. Yeah, so I don't know if I am going to bore you guys with the rest of this mani, but I think what I'll do is I'll finish it up and then I'll come back and I'll reveal the full mani. Just give me a few. We'll see you in a sec. Okay guys, I'm back, and yes, look how shiny these liquids are, and look how perfect Pinkerbell is. She's so gorgeous. So obviously we're always gonna end our mani with some cuticle oil, and my favorite flavor is cotton candy from Candy Skincare. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to every one of my cuticles. If you haven't tried it, you need to, because it is delicious. My cats always like to sniff my fingers after I apply cuticle oil. It's kind of funny. A little too much. Share the wealth here. Anyway guys, I'm gonna give you my really honest opinion on these liquids. I'm kind of picky with liquids. I like a top coat that's super shiny, and I like liquids that are super easy to work with. This is both. So I can't really attest to the peel base just yet. I will follow up with a quick video on the peel base and how I pop that off. So hopefully it's an easy pop off, because that will just make this a 10 out of 10 for me. Not only is the packaging cute, but I felt like the base coat was nice and thin, and it made the dip really easy to apply. And obviously, like I said in the beginning of this, I have some clear on here. So these are a little bit thicker, but these would apply really thin. So if you like your nails thin, definitely try these liquids. And the top coat seems really super shiny to me. So I'm digging that because I love, love, love a shiny mani. So guys, if you have any questions at all, obviously drop them in the comment section below. I will leave a link to VIVIDip in the description box, as well as the files that I use and the Revel Ombre brushes. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I hope you enjoyed this video and this beautiful mani. So excited. Thanks, guys.